Stop. Before you try to sleep tonight, listen carefully. There is a reason you are awake right now, even if you cannot fully explain it. Maybe the house is quiet, but your mind is not. Maybe everyone else is sleeping, yet you are replaying conversations, replaying worries, replaying pressure. Bills, health, family, that thing someone said, that thing you did not say. Or maybe you do not even know why you feel unsettled, you just do. And here's what most people do not realize. It is not always noise that steals peace. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is the quiet room, the dim light, the ceiling above you, and the weight you did not have time to feel during the day. So before you scroll again, before you distract yourself, before you force sleep, let us shift something. Not dramatically, not emotionally intense, just intentionally. Whether you are deeply Christian, unsure about faith, or simply tired and looking for calm, this space is for you. You do not have to perform, you do not have to agree with everything, and you do not have to say the perfect prayer. Just stay. Because tonight, we are not only praying for you, we are covering your home. The air, the atmosphere, the unseen tension, the rooms you walk through every day. Peace does not enter by accident, it is invited. And right now, we invite it. Take one slow breath and let your shoulders drop as you exhale. Let your jaw relax, let your hands loosen, and allow your body to feel supported. The house is still, and heaven is not far. You are not alone in this room, and you are not alone in this moment. There is a presence here that does not rush you, does not pressure you, and does not demand anything from you. It simply settles. So let it settle. Let the air feel softer. Let the silence feel safe. Let this moment become sacred, not because it is dramatic, but because it is intentional. You have carried enough today. You have processed enough. You have tried hard enough. Tonight is not for striving. Tonight is for surrender. Tonight is for releasing the thoughts you cannot solve and the pressures you cannot control. Tonight is for covering this home in something steadier than worry and stronger than fear. As the music gently rises, allow your breathing to deepen again. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently. The house is still. Your body is here, and heaven is near. Stay. We are just beginning. Father, before we ask for anything, and before we mention needs, and before we list requests, and before we bring problems to you, we pause. Because presence comes before petition, and awareness comes before words. We acknowledge you, not as a distant idea, and not as a theory, and not as a religious symbol people argue about, but as present, here, in this room, in this house, in this very moment. You are not far from this address, and you are not outside these walls, and you are not waiting for us to become perfect before you enter. You are already near. So we quiet ourselves, and we allow the air to settle, and we let the atmosphere begin to shift. Your word says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain." So tonight, we stop striving, and we stop trying to control everything, and we stop carrying what was never ours to carry. If you are not the foundation, nothing stands, and if you are not the covering, nothing holds. So we invite you to be both, foundation and covering. This house is yours. These walls are yours. The rooms are yours. The furniture is yours. The doorways are yours. The quiet corners are yours. Even the unseen tension in the air, belongs to you. This address belongs to you. If there has been tension here, we release it. If words were spoken that left residue in the atmosphere, we cleanse the air with peace. If silence has grown heavy between people, we soften it with grace. If stress walked in through the door earlier today, it does not stay tonight. If fear sat at the table, it leaves now. If anxiety followed someone home, it is not welcome here. Let this home breathe differently. Let the temperature of this room change. Let peace settle like gentle rain, not loud, not dramatic, but steady and consistent. Father, walk slowly through this house. Walk through the bedroom and the hallway and the living space and the kitchen. Walk through every room where conversations happened and every place where tears were shed and every corner that holds memory. Let your presence wash over it all. If there has been heaviness, we surrender it. If there has been financial pressure pressing on this home, we release it into your hands. If there has been emotional strain stretching relationships thin, we hand it over. If there has been spiritual unease resting quietly in the background, we invite your covering. Let this home feel lighter tonight, not because problems disappeared, and not because life suddenly became easy, but because peace entered, because you entered. And when you are present, fear loses its grip, and tension loosens, and the atmosphere shifts. So we breathe again, slowly, deeply, and we allow peace to settle. This house is not defined by stress, it is defined by your presence. This home is not ruled by fear, it is anchored in you. And tonight, the atmosphere changes. Stay here. Let it settle. Let the peace take its time. Now, we let Scripture settle slowly, and we refuse to rush what was never meant to be hurried. Not preached, and not dissected, and not explained away, but simply received. We allow the words to do what they have always done, because they carry weight, and they carry comfort, and they carry authority. Psalm 4, verse 8 says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." And we do not hurry past that. In peace, not in exhaustion, and not in collapse, and not in distraction, but in peace. I will lie down, not with tension in my shoulders, and not with my jaw clenched, and not with my thoughts racing. I will lie down and sleep. Real sleep, and deep sleep, and undisturbed sleep. For you alone, Lord, not my income, and not my security system, and not my strength, and not my ability to control everything. You alone make me dwell in safety. Safety in my body, and safety in my thoughts, and safety in this home. And we repeat it softly in our spirit. In peace I will lie down and sleep, and you alone make me dwell in safety. Let those words travel through the room, and let them rise gently to the ceiling, and let them rest quietly on the walls, and let them settle over the bed like a covering. Now Psalm 121 speaks, "The Lord watches over you," not occasionally, and not only when you remember to pray, and not only when you feel strong, but always. The Lord watches over you, even when you are tired, and even when you forget, and even when you doubt. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. Shade protects, and shade cools, and shade shields from harsh heat. When pressure rises, He is shade. When stress increases, He is shade. He will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Not just tonight, and not just this season, and not only in the parts you understand, forevermore. That means tomorrow morning, and next week, and next month, and even the future you quietly worry about. He watches over it, and you are not navigating life alone, even when it feels that way. Let that truth soften you, and let it ease the tightness you have been holding. Now Isaiah 32:18 declares, "My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest." Peaceful dwelling places, and we speak that over this address. Secure home, and we declare that over these walls. Undisturbed places of rest, and we allow that to define this bedroom tonight. If there has been a disturbance, it is quiet now. If there has been restlessness, it loosens. If sleep has felt fragile, it strengthens. Father, let this scripture become atmosphere, and not just something heard, but something experienced. Let angels stand guard over this address, and let unseen protection surround this home. Let the air feel lighter, and let the silence feel safe. Let Scripture become more than memory, and more than repetition, and more than familiar words. Let it become covering. Let it become a shield. Let it become peace. And as the music continues softly beneath these promises, we do not hurry forward, and we do not move ahead too quickly. We allow these words to linger, because peace does not hurry, and protection does not panic. It simply settles. So stay here, and let the word hold you. Let it carry what you cannot carry. Let it steady what feels uncertain, and let it remain. Now we move slowly through the house, and we do not rush this moment. We move as if heaven itself is walking from room to room, quietly and intentionally. Father, we begin in the bedroom, the quiet place where the lights go dim and the mind grows loud. It is the place where thoughts rise when everything else falls silent, and it is the place where tears sometimes fall unseen. If anxiety has visited here, it cannot stay tonight. And if insomnia has lingered at the edge of the bed, it releases its grip. Let the mattress become more than furniture, and let it become restoration ground. Let pillows absorb stress, and let blankets feel like safety wrapped gently around weary shoulders. Let breathing slow the moment someone lies down, and let every exhale carry away what the day could not resolve. Let dreams be calm and undisturbed, and let sleep be deep and steady. Let the night itself be kind. Now we move into the living room, the space where voices rise and where laughter once echoed freely. It is the place where conversations unfolded and where silence has sometimes felt heavy. If tension settled in the air, lift it now, and if words left residue behind, cleanse it completely. Replace sharp tones with softness, and replace distance with warmth that feels safe again. Let reconciliation begin quietly without force, and let laughter return naturally without effort. Let this space feel welcoming again, and let peace rest in every corner. Now the kitchen, the place of provision and daily rhythm, where ordinary moments quietly shape entire lives. It is the place where worries are sometimes whispered over bills and budgets, and where quiet prayers are spoken over small portions. Bless what is here, and multiply what feels small. Stretch finances gently and wisely. Stretch resources beyond expectation, and stretch opportunity beyond what is currently visible. Let favor knock at this door, and let unexpected provision arrive without strain. Let there always be enough, and let gratitude grow where fear once stood. Now every doorway in this house, visible and unseen, stand guard there, and let nothing harmful cross it. Let no unseen heaviness enter, and let no chaos take residence here. Every window, let light enter freely, and let peace enter with it. Let hope rise with the morning sun, and let clarity follow it throughout the day. Every hallway, let calm travel through it, and let footsteps feel lighter with every step. Let the atmosphere shift gently with every movement, and let this house breathe differently tonight. Let the air feel clearer, and the silence feel safer, and let the walls themselves feel steadier. Not because everything is perfect, but because it is covered. Stay in that covering and allow it to settle without resistance. Let it rest fully and let it remain.
Now, this part is just for you, and not the house and not the rooms. You, the one listening, and the one who kept going today. The one who smiled even when you were tired, and the one who carried more than you admitted. If you feel behind in life, pause for a moment and breathe. You are not late, and you are not missing your moment, and you are not being skipped over. Growth is not always loud, and progress is not always visible, and becoming is often quiet before it is seen. If you feel exhausted, you are not weak because you have been strong for a long time. Strong in conversations that drained you, and strong in silence when no one understood, and strong in rooms where nobody noticed what it cost you. It is okay to be tired, and it is okay to admit that strength has weight. If you feel forgotten, you are not unseen, not by God, and not by heaven, and not by the one who formed you with intention and care. Even in your quietest moments, and even in your most unnoticed days, you are known. Father, touch the part of this heart that feels overwhelmed, and reach beyond surface stress into the deeper layer. The pressure that sits behind the ribs, and the tension that lives in the shoulders, and the weight that settles quietly in the chest. Calm the mind that will not stop racing, and slow the replaying, and quiet the overthinking. Ease the what-ifs, and soften the imagined conversations that never rest. Slow it down, and let thoughts untangle gently rather than forcefully. Release the body from the stress it has carried all day, from the tight jaw and the shallow breathing, from the restless legs and the heavy eyelids that still will not close. Let the nervous system remember what safety feels like, and let breathing deepen naturally and without effort. Inhale slowly and exhale gently, and allow the rhythm to steady. Let heaviness lift, not all at once and not in a rush, but steadily and faithfully, like fog dissolving at sunrise. If there is regret, cover it with mercy. If there is comparison, quiet it with truth. If there is silent pressure to figure everything out, remove it gently and completely. You do not have to solve tomorrow tonight, and you do not have to carry everything alone. You are held, and not conditionally, and not temporarily, but right now and in this moment. Stay here and let yourself soften without resistance. You are safe enough to rest.
Now, we gently bring before you what quietly keeps many people awake and what rests beneath the surface long after the lights are turned off. Not dramatic fears and not loud crises, but the steady pressure that hums in the background of the mind. Financial pressure, uncertainty, the quiet math happening in someone's head as they lie in bed, calculating and recalculating what must stretch and what must wait. The bills, the responsibilities, and the future that feels unclear. And the question that whispers in the silence, what if it doesn't work out? Father, you see that, and you see it fully. You see the effort and the budgeting and the trying and the stretching that no one else notices. You see the discipline and the restraint and the quiet sacrifices made behind closed doors. Philippians 4:19 says, "My God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory." Not always instantly, and not always in the way we imagined, but faithfully and consistently and without forgetting. So tonight, we release panic and we loosen its grip gently. We release the tightness that comes when thinking about money, and we release the heaviness that settles in the chest when numbers do not add up easily. We release the fear of being behind, and we release the pressure to have everything figured out right now. We trust supply, not excess and not luxury, but supply that is sufficient and steady. We trust the timing, even when it feels slow and progress seems invisible. We trust open doors, even when we cannot see them yet, and even when the hallway still feels quiet. Father, let provision find this home in ways that are steady and sustainable, not rushed and not fragile. Let opportunities open quietly and naturally, without strain and without chaos. Let favor grow gradually, like seeds that take root before they are seen. Let wisdom guide decisions, and let clarity replace confusion. If someone listening feels embarrassed about their financial situation, remove the shame gently and completely. If someone feels overwhelmed by responsibility, strengthen them steadily and patiently. If someone feels afraid of tomorrow, steady their heart and anchor their thoughts. Remove fear of the future and replace it with quiet confidence. Not loud optimism and not forced positivity, but quiet confidence that rests beneath the surface. The kind that says, I may not see everything yet, but I am not abandoned and I am not forgotten. Tomorrow carries grace, and tomorrow carries provision. Tomorrow carries help that has not yet arrived, and answers that have not yet unfolded. So tonight, we rest. We do not solve next month, and we do not calculate every possibility. We trust that what is needed will come when it is needed, and that provision will meet its moment. And that is enough for this moment. Stay there, and let the pressure soften without force. Let the shoulders lower, and let the breath steady. You are not alone in this, and you have never been unseen in it. Rest here, and let that be enough. Now, we do not shift into intensity, and we do not raise our voices. We simply become aware, and we allow awareness to settle gently. Aware that peace is not fragile, and it is not temporary. It is protected. There is no need to shout, and there is no need to battle loudly. Because when God covers something, it is covered fully and completely. So we rest in that, and we allow that truth to steady us. If there has been fear near this home, it does not need to be confronted aggressively, and it does not need dramatic attention. It simply has no place here. If there has been heaviness in the atmosphere, it does not belong, and it does not attach itself permanently. It does not argue, and it does not resist. It leaves quietly. No fear stays here, and no shadow lingers. Not dramatic fear, and not subtle fear. Not the kind that whispers at 2 a.m. and tries to sound convincing. No spiritual heaviness lingers in this space, and no hidden anxiety hides in unseen corners. No unseen pressure clings to the walls or settles into the air. Psalm 91 says, "He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." Not might, not maybe, he will. So tonight, angels stand watch, and they stand without noise or spectacle, not visibly and not loudly, just faithfully, at the door and at the bedside, in the hallway and near the windows, over the roof and around the walls. This home is not exposed, and it is not left unattended. It is covered. This house does not rest alone, and it does not sleep without care. It rests under watchful protection. If someone listening has felt spiritually unsettled lately and has sensed something they could not explain, let that feeling dissolve gently. You are not surrounded by threat, and you are not standing alone in uncertainty. You are surrounded by protection. You are not vulnerable here, and you are not unguarded. You are sheltered. Let that truth settle softly into your thoughts, and let it replace tension with steadiness. There is no need to tense up, and there is no need to scan the darkness. You can unclench, and you can breathe without hesitation. This house rests safely, and it rests securely, and so do you. Stay in that calm, and let it hold you without resistance. Let protection feel quiet, and let it feel steady. Let it feel complete. Now we soften even more, and we allow everything inside us to settle without resistance. There is nothing left to solve, and there is nothing left to prove. There is nothing left to carry tonight, and nothing left to hold tightly. Let your breathing slow, and let each inhale become quieter than the last. Let your shoulders drop again, and let them stay lowered. Let your eyes grow heavier, and let that heaviness feel welcome. God is here, not watching from a distance and not observing from far away, but near and present and closer than your next breath. You are safe and you are secure, not because everything in life is predictable and not because every answer is visible, but because you are covered and you are held. Peace fills this room, and it moves without effort. It settles gently on the ceiling, and it rests softly on the walls. It drapes quietly over this bed, and it lingers without hurry. You are not alone, and you have not been alone, even in the quiet and even in the dark, even in the moments when no one else understands your thoughts and no one else sees what you carry. You are not alone. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Let that blessing linger and let it remain without fading. Let it move slowly across your mind and let it soften every restless thought. You do not need to replay the day, and you do not need to examine every conversation. You do not need to calculate tomorrow, and you do not need to prepare for next week. Right now, you rest. Your body is allowed to relax, and it does not need permission to release tension. Your breathing is allowed to deepen, and it does not need to stay shallow. Your heart is allowed to slow, and it does not need to remain alert. Sleep deeply, and let that depth feel safe, not lightly, and not anxiously, deeply. Rest fully and let that fullness feel complete, not half alert and not guarded, fully. If your mind tries to wander and it begins to drift toward unfinished things, come back to this. You are held. If fear tries to whisper and it tries to sound convincing in the quiet, come back to this. You are protected. If pressure tries to return and it attempts to settle back onto your chest, come back to this. You are provided for. Let your breathing become steady and let it find a calm rhythm. Inhale slowly and let that inhale feel unforced. Exhale gently and let the exhale carry away tension. The room is calm and it remains undisturbed. The house is covered and it rests under watchful care. The night is quiet and it holds no threat. Tomorrow will carry strength, and that strength will meet you where you are. Not borrowed strength and not forced strength, new strength. Strength that rises with the morning and strength that meets you gently. Let your eyelids grow heavier and let that heaviness feel natural. Let the silence feel safe and let it feel complete. Let your body sink into the mattress and let gravity hold you without effort. Nothing is chasing you, and nothing is running behind you. Nothing is demanding from you, and nothing is pressing against you. Nothing is threatening you, and nothing is looming over you. You can rest, and you can release what you have been holding. You can let go, and you can drift. Heaven stands watch, and it does so quietly, and you sleep. If this moment brought peace into your home tonight, then that is exactly why this space exists. The way of light was created for quiet nights, for heavy thoughts, and for 2 a.m. moments when strength feels thin. It was created for homes that need covering, and for hearts that need steadying. If you've been part of this family for a while, thank you, because you are the reason this channel continues. And if you are new here, welcome, because you are not here by accident. If this prayer has helped you, even in a small way, you can stay connected, because longer scripture immersions and night prayers are waiting for you here whenever you need them. And if your heart feels led, there is a small way you can support this space. Many of you have asked how to help keep these prayers coming regularly, and there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. It is not required and it is not pressured, because it is simply a way for those who want to say, keep going. Every coffee given helps keep this space peaceful, ad-free in spirit, and consistent for nights like this. If you have ever fallen asleep to these prayers, or if you have ever felt calmer because of this channel, or if this space has quietly become part of your night routine, your support, whether through a coffee, a comment, or simply staying, means more than you know. But above all, just rest. If you feel comfortable, you can gently comment, "Peace lives here." Let this community quietly stand together, not loudly, not forcefully, but steadily. This is the way of light, where faith becomes calm, where prayer becomes atmosphere, where protection feels steady, where provision feels near, and where peace is not forced because it simply settles. Rest now. Heaven stands watch.